Hello YouTube, it's your boy Nathan coming to you to do another recap video. Today we are talking 90 Day Fiancé The Other Way, Season 7, Episode 7. It's Deja Vu. So we're just going to get on to it. This video will not be long. First couple I want to talk is Anthony and Manon. So as we all know, Anthony and Manon are in France trying to salvage their marriage and stuff. We seen like Manon finally like show, and Anthony was kind of happy about this show, like a little bit more bonding time with her son Benjamin, basically, and everything. Anthony was saying that that's like he was so glad to see that. Now they're on their way. Now they get into a car to go somewhere, and Manon hits Benjamin with something like unexpected. She says that she has like a business idea that she wants to do there in France and everything. And Anthony's just like, well, what the heck? We came to France to work on us and everything and take like a break from all of that and everything. So like, what are we doing here and everything? And Manon was saying that her friend, she met up with a friend that like convinced her one way or the other and everything. But Anthony's still taken back by it because like he's just Manon likes to do like stuff like this all the time and just gets preoccupied, and he's afraid that it could destroy the marriage and they get divorced and stuff and everything. So, but the question is that like, if they're doing all this, why did they have to move all the way to France to like do this? They couldn't do this in the United States. Like, I mean, the whole storyline just is not really adding up right now. Like, it's just really, their storyline is just really confusing. And like, I don't really know what to really think of it right now, because it was nice to see Manon not complain and whine and cry in this episode for once, but I just don't get this couple. I don't get the story. I don't get what they really want to do with their lives and stuff and everything. I really don't get it. So, I mean, that's all I can say with that. So, moving on. Moving on. Next couple I want to talk is Jenny and Submit. So, Jenny and Submit, after the housewarming party and Submit's aunt basically talking crap about Jenny and everything, now it's time for Jenny and Submit's mother to do some yoga. And this is not any ordinary yoga. They call it poop yoga. Don't ask me why. So they started doing this yoga, but they had to do like a laugh, and then they had to put their hands up and everything. And then like they made Jenny drink some sulfur water or whatever and everything. And basically laxatives that would make her go number two, basically. And Submit's mother, now she defended Jenny last week with the aunt, but now went back to the insult, said that Jenny's been and Submit has been gaining weight, basically. And I'm just like, so now we're body shaming now. Nice. I don't know what's wrong with this family. I really don't know what's wrong with this family at all. They are so ignorant. They are so rude. They're so disrespectful. They talk a lot of crap about you, and then they smile at you. Like I this is just so wrong on so many levels. Like anybody in the if I have any anybody from India that watches my videos, please just let me know if this is just a culture thing or it's just a Submit's family thing. I mean, right now I'm thinking it's just a Submit's family thing, but please, if it's culture, then I apologize, but it's just not really cool. It's just not really cool, like the body shaming, the talking crap and stuff. I understand Jenny and Submit's story of like relationship age gap is a thing. I understand that, but they are happy. But anyway, whatever. Moving on. So they do their yoga and everything, and then Jenny got really sick out of it, and it really did make Jenny have to go number two. And she didn't want to go number two together. She said she went to her own bathroom and went number two. Don't know why they call it poop yoga. Don't ask me why. Someone explained to me more about that, but yeah, that was kind of disturbing. So yeah. Yeah, they only had one scene in this episode, so moving on. Next couple I want to talk is Chloe and Johnny. So, Chloe and Johnny, Johnny goes to work, and he's gonna be gone all day. And Chloe, the first thing Chloe says in this episode is that Johnny had asked her to turn off his location sharing, basically. And Chloe agreed to do that, but she has another plan intact. So, their whole thing is that, Chloe doesn't is still uncomfortable with Johnny still doing his job where she met him on, basically. And she she doesn't like how he has to entertain drunk girls on the boat again, where she met him from and everything, and girls in their bikinis and stuff and everything. So after Johnny leaves for work, Chloe, I guess, met a friend that lives in Aruba that is also has a Aruban boyfriend that she lives with, that they met at the bar and stuff. And she comes over and gets Chloe, and they hang out, and they decided to go to Johnny's job to spy on him. Chloe apparently has done this before because she said there is a tree like by his little pirate ship that she can hang out and watch and stuff. So this clearly wasn't the first time she did this and everything. So her and her friend drive to Johnny's work, and they hide behind a tree and everything and just sit and watch the people on the boat and everything. And she said that, yeah, I may agree to turn off the location, but we didn't say nothing about my eyes being and spying on him with my eyes and stuff. And I'm just like this is just not healthy. This is just really not healthy for her to be so like worried about that. I cannot stand the double standard. Like, it's the double standard and everything. How are you going to meet and be a drunk girl on a pirate ship and meet and fall in love with this guy, and then you decided to uproot your whole life, get away from a nice job that you had with your mother, to go be with this guy and have him like really stop working on it and stuff and everything? And then you get mad, if he's like doing something that he shouldn't. You know, I understand that maybe, yes, Johnny may need to tell some of these girls that he has a girlfriend, but at the same time, when he's at work, he may not get the tips. If he does that, they may not tip him and stuff and everything. Now they're all saying, "Oh, these girls don't really care. These girls don't care." But if you're not getting your tips, I'm not saying he has to go and be intimate with them or sneak off and be intimate, because he's still on the clock and he could still get in trouble if he did that and lose his job. But you can't expect him to like just be done with it completely. It's going to take time and everything. And I'm sure if you were like a bartender, like at a provocative bar or something and everything, and he wasn't uncomfortable with it, or if he was an exotic dancer or whatever, if you were exotic dancer and stuff and everything, and he asked you to quit and you didn't want to quit because you need the money, double standard right there. Just saying. So I really don't get Chloe, but I think age is playing a factor in this one. She's really young, so yeah, it is what it is. So that was Chloe and Johnny. Next couple I want to talk is Patia and Dylan. So Patia, we met Patia last week, and she is on her way to Tasmania, Australia, to be with Dylan and stuff. She's been on like long flights and everything. And she gets to her last flight that was only an hour and a half, which wasn't bad and everything. And we seen Dylan like bring her like bring her some flowers and this like kangaroo stuffed animal and stuff and everything. They meet at the airport basically, and Patia is just hoping that this is her last trip to Australia, because after 12 years, they've been on and off for the last 12 years, and she's hoping they'll be in for the long run. She's hoping this will be it. Patia is worried because Dylan's mom lives close to them, close to Dylan and everything, and like she's like really really involved in their relationship and stuff and everything. And most of their fights have been because of Dylan's mom, basically, and everything. So she's worried about that. And so they arrive to the airport where Patia lands in Australia. Dylan greets her, and Patia does something nasty. She gives Dylan dog kisses. Basically, was just licking him the whole time through the airport. And I'm just like, ew. Like, I did not need to see that. Dylan was just like, yeah, these little dog kisses are a bit much. He's like, I don't mind them in the bedroom, but I do mind them in the airport. I'm like, yeah, hello. And everything. So, yeah, she just kept on doing it. Like, it wasn't just like a quick one time thing. She just, every time she saw him, she was just licking him and stuff and everything. It was just disgusting and stuff. So, I mean, that's our way to show affections. So be it. But I was just a little bit disturbed by that, in my opinion. So yeah, so yeah, that was judging by the previews of next week. It looks like Patia and Dylan's mom are gonna, Dylan's mom. We're gonna see Dylan's mom and she's gonna have her have her opinions about things and stuff, and whatnot. So that was Patia and Dylan. And the last couple we need to talk is freaking Luke and Madeline. Oh my god, I can't stand this. This is just ridiculous. So as we know what happened last week, Luke told Madeline about the stripper at the party, at his bachelor party, basically. And Madeline threw cake in his face and stormed off and crying and everything. This episode, we seen Luke like drive back to Madeline's apartment. She done packed and threw out his flowers and packed up his stuff and left them outside and everything. Luke gets in a taxi and tries to go back, and he sees the stuff and he's like, I gotta go to a hotel. I'm covered in cake. I smell like crap. I need to go. So he goes to the hotel just trying to figure like how to salvage this, basically. Madeline's just going crazy, crying. I thought you trusted me. I thought you loved me and everything, and all that. So the next day, Madeline does call Luke and ask him to come over so they could talk about it. And so he goes and gets flowers again, and tries to make a peace with it. So he gets to the apartment. He sees Madeline. She says that he could come up, whatever. And she asked, like, what really happened. And he tried to explain, like, I didn't touch her. And she doesn't really believe it. She's just like, do you think I'm stupid? And strippers touch and everything. He was like, I just had my hands like this. It's like, it doesn't matter. They're still touching and stuff and everything. And then she was like, and then she just said something really contradictory. Madeline was like, I really want peace, and you don't give it to me for 2 years, basically. And I'm like, you don't give him peace? I mean, he doesn't give you peace. You don't give him peace. You're the one who's like throwing cake, having a fit, and asking for thousands of dollars for an extravagant wedding and stuff. And he doesn't give you peace? Girl, bye. And so he was just like, well, I want to salvage this relationship. And she was like, there's nothing left. We're done. So right now they're broken up. But this is when I said this last week, this is where being on the show could be beneficial for a couple, because now the producers are going to talk her into staying, try to work it out, at least for footage sake and everything. And, because I think if they weren't filming, this probably would have been done. But on Pillow Talk, someone said the best. You're like, a lot of people do this just to scare their partners, just to make them suffer, basically, and everything. We know Luke and Madeline are married. Spoiler alert. We know they're married. But I think this is just BS. It's ridiculous. I really, and I'm not saying Luke is innocent in all this, but when you date a 19, 20-year-old and you're my age at 33, 34, 32, 33, 34, whatever, this is what's going to happen. This is what's going to happen. And someone said it best when Luke arrived to Colombia a few weeks ago. and he was greeted by Madeline's mom. People were just like, he should have just got with Madeline's mom. They're more closer than age than than he is with Madeline and stuff. So I just I it's just really, some of this stuff is just really disturbing. Like you got dog kisses, and then you got 19-20 year olds throwing cake in faces and stuff and everything. And again, the double standard. Imagine if it was the other way around. Imagine if Luke would have did that. We would be calling for him to get off. We would be calling for TLC to get him off our screens. He's terrible. This and that and everything. But this has to go for the women as well. When women do this, I'm sorry. Like, I'm sorry, but men always get in trouble for stuff like that. But women do it just as much aggressively, and they get away with it all the time. And we can't be, and we can't just allow this behavior to continue. So yeah. Now I didn't see Luke and Madeline in next week's preview, so I don't think they'll be on next week, but maybe we'll see them in 2 weeks. But yeah, Luke tried to talk to her, tried to go into the bedroom to comfort her, and she just said, she started crying, just like, no, go, no, go, just go, just go. And he was like, you want me to go? I'll go. So, hey, you know what? I would have been going back home. I would have been like, this ain't worth it. This is just not worth it. Now, he really must love Madeline. I have to give it to him. He really must love Madeline, because this is just too much. And this, him trying to do everything for her like this, it's just tiring. It's tiring to watch. And we're only on episode 7, and it's just been tiring and everything. So yeah. But that was basically it. Yeah, we did not see Greta and Matthew in this episode. But yeah, again, I try to drag it out on the 1 hour episodes and stuff. Basically, it's really hard to do, especially when most of the couples only had one scene. But Tia and Dylan had 2 scenes, and Luke and Madeline had 2 scenes, so I was able to talk about them a little bit longer and stuff. I could make judgments on Chloe and Johnny, basically, and stuff, and Jenny and Cement. It's just a ticking time bomb before it all blows up and stuff and everything. So, but and that's where back to Jenny and Cement for a minute. I saw a preview. Well, not a preview, but I saw a leaked cast list for 90 Day The Last Resort Season 3. And 2 couples that were featured on The Other Way were on that list. So these are just alleged couples that are going to be on 90 Day The Last Resort. The first couples are Sarper and Shekinah. Next couple is Jenny and Cement. Next couple is Russ and Powell. Next couple is Kara and Guillermo. Next couple is Rebecca and Ziet. And the last couple is Patrick and Thais. I'm really surprised Patrick and Thais are going to be on The Last Resort. Everybody else, I'm not surprised. Well, Jenny and Cement, I'm kind of surprised too, because I wonder, I think Jenny just had enough of the Cement's being a mama's boy, probably. And rumor has it that The Last Resort is being filmed in a different country just so Cement can be there, basically. So, yeah, I'm not surprised with Sarper and Shekinah, Karen, Guillermo, Russ and Powell, but Patrick and Thais really surprised. And there's also been rumors that Thais and Shekinah have not been getting along during filming. Don't know if that's true or not. I don't know if it's just made up clickbait stories, but I've seen multiple reports that Shekinah and Thais have been getting into it. So, oh Lord, I'm just tired of the drama. Where's the love? Where's the love? I don't know if you guys see on Instagram, but I follow this guy that on Instagram that he likes to spread love. He goes into a mall or a Walmart and just says, hey, I had a bad day. Can I have a hug? And, it's like 50-50, or it's 75-25. He usually gets a hug, and then people are still a little bit uncomfortable and won't give him a hug. Some people are mean with this, some people are really nice about it. But that's what we need. We need more people just to give out hugs. I'm having a bad day. Can I have a hug? I ain't gonna hurt you. I just want a hug. I'm having a bad day. That's it. That's all I want. So where's the love on 90 Day Fiance? Bring back the love. But yeah, but I digress. But anyway, guys, that is the end of my review. Thank you guys so much for watching. And like I said yesterday, please make sure you're subscribed to my channel. YouTube has been playing games where they're unsubscribing like channels like mine. So just please make sure you're subscribed to my channel. And if you haven't already, please subscribe. And I'll be back on either Friday or Saturday when I'll do my first Married at First Sight season 19 recap. So be on the lookout for that. But until then, y'all stay safe and have a good one. Bye, y'all.